Welcome back to the WV Retreat Channel. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sue.
And we're here back in beautiful West Virginia. Today we're visiting my Uncle Charles's mountain farm. You can see how beautiful it looks behind me. We're going to take some time to get some pictures and some video of the area, and we'll get a chance to talk with Uncle Charles about the farm to learn a little bit more. So join us today.
We hope you enjoy it.
So here I am with Uncle Charles. Hi, Uncle Charles. Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So here we are at his awesome mountain farm. He's going to give us a little bit of background about it to get started. So, Uncle Charles, can you tell us about when did you get this farm, and how long have you been farming here? And give us the history.
Welcome to the Rich Mountain Farm, Mike. It's good to have you and your family here today. But I took over the farm from my dad in 1984. I've been running it on my own since then. Previous to that, I helped my dad run the farm and worked here ever since I was just a young boy. So I've spent a lot of hours on this farm. I refer to this as the Rich Mountain Farm. This actually is Rich Mountain. It consists of about 225 acres, located here in Randolph County, between Harmon and Canaan Valley. Got Blackwater Falls, and you got Timberline Ski Resort, and all this back over in this direction here. It's a grazing farm. Don't make any hay here, chop any corn. Keep 100 head of Black Angus steers on this farm. Just a wonderful place here in the mountains. We're right here just under 4,000 feet. Spruce Knob is the highest place in West Virginia, which is 4,862 feet. So we're just under 4,000 feet right here, and just a wonderful place to be. A lot of hard work goes into this farm. A lot of it's on steep ground. As you'll see some of the video here after a while, it's a beautiful place. It goes to show you what God has provided for us.
Now, Uncle Charles, can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing every season in the farm, from winter all the way through summer, and what's changing? What's the activity look like?
Well, it's actually seasonal here, being at this elevation and being located here on this Allegheny front. We have considerable snowfall here in the winter months, so do take the livestock. There's no cattle, there's no livestock at all on this farm in the winter months, and it really begins with the livestock around the 1st of May, and then winds up getting the cattle out of here long about the last of September, 1st of October. So in the winter months, if there's anything done here, it's just working on the farm, trying to build fence and maybe burn some brush piles or something like that. But in the winter months, there's not much going on out here in the winter. The winters are pretty harsh out here.
And do you have any utilities up here? To electric, power, water? Do you have things like that?
No utilities. No, not even a windmill. Could certainly use a windmill. We have a lot of wind coming across the top of this mountain, but no, there's no utilities. We're up here. If you want power, you got to bring a generator.
So how do you get around the farm here? What's your best transportation?
Yeah, well, I have four-wheelers, and then I have a side-by-side that I use, and then of course I have tractors and four-wheel drive pickup and all that. So there's a lot to do. I don't know if you guys are familiar with multiflora roses and that type of stuff, thorns and all, but you have to continue to fight that all the time. So that's a never-ending job. My neighbors has got them pretty bad. So the birds eat the seed, and it goes through the digestive system of the bird, and they come over and drop the seed on my side, and I've got a new sprout. So I have to fight that every year. Yeah, there's a fence to build, all kinds of things to do. There's I still have a day job. I work 11 hours every day, 5 days a week, running heavy equipment. So I have to get out here and do my farming on Saturdays and on holidays and vacation, and whenever I can get out here. There's always something to do.
So what's your favorite part of the farm? What do you enjoy the most?
Well, it's hard to be able to come out and relax with me being able to, or working every day like I do, or with my public work. It's hard to just come out. You feel like on Saturdays you need to be working and taking care of things. So it's hard to just bring an easy chair or whatever and sit down. But yeah, the best part is riding out here on a Sunday afternoon after church, and I don't work on Sunday, and just enjoying God's creation here. This is also a military training zone, so I get to see some air shows out here quite often. The Air Force sends, or the Navy or whoever, sends the F-14s and all the military jets. They send them around in this area here, and they go buzzing through. And I'm up here actually looking down on the pilot when they go through here below me, right from this very spot. And then the Chinooks, the double-wing helicopters, the big ones, the military, they set them down right here on the farm. So that's pretty exciting. They've never let me walk up to them or get to them. They always lift off. If I see them light down on the top up here, and I start towards them, they always lift off. They don't want me to come close to the helicopter. Yeah, I've got to see some nice air shows out here. They'll lay them up on their side. You look right in the cockpit and right at the pilot.
Uncle Charles, can you tell me about what it's like to take care of the cattle? I mean, are there times where it's really tough, where you're really worried about them?
Well, actually, I use sweet feed to take care of the cattle, or to check on the cattle, like on Saturday mornings when I come out here early. I like to come early before it gets too warm. If it gets warm, like it is right now, the cattle tend to want to get into the shade. But yeah, I have to call them out and get them to come to me where I can check their health, their overall health, make sure there's no problem with their feet, no problem with their eyes. And occasionally you do have that. So when you do, you have to get them in immediately and doctor them, give them antibiotics, do whatever you have to do to get it cleared up, get them straightened up, because a sick animal is not going to do well. And then if you've got a problem with an eye or something, it can spread to some of the other cattle. So I got lots of stories. I could write you a book of things that's happened here on the farm. Yeah, I've upset some four-wheelers here, and I've had some experiences out here with rattlesnakes. I was backpack spraying on the backside of the farm here with a backpack sprayer. At one point, I stepped right across the rattlesnake and stepped up on a flat rock. I thought I heard a little buzz, or I thought I heard something. I was in the process of going right over top of that rock and right on over onto the other side and stepping back down on the ground. And I thought I did hear something, so I stepped back up on the rock, and I looked on the other side of the rock where I had just stepped up on, and the rattlesnake was going underneath the rock. There was about half of him still out. So yeah, I've upset some four-wheelers, and I've had some incidents out here where it's been good Lord's really taken care of me, saved me from disaster more than once. Like I say, we're in a wonderful area right here. We have Canaan Valley State Park. We have Timberline Ski Resort, Blackwater Falls, Spruce Knob, Dolly Sods. You have a lot. We have an awful lot going on right here within. I mean, when you go by the way the crow flies, it's less than 10 miles away from these places. You got Snowshoe. Snowshoe would be the farthest one away. It's a little bit further to get to Snowshoe. We're in a good spot right here. It's a beautiful part of West Virginia, and I'm sure you'll see that with some drone video after a while.
Thank you, Uncle Charles.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, so the other thing that I will mention is we have a lot of wildlife here on Rich Mountain. Everything from bear, turkey, coyote, of course all your smaller species, rabbit, and all the rest. But we do have a lot of bear and turkey. See them quite often, actually, right out during the day. So it's enjoyable to watch the turkeys. Actually, yesterday I ran across a hen that was trying to hide a little one. At the last minute, the hen walked away from me, and I knew something was there. I thought maybe even some eggs, but when I walked up and started looking, parting the grass, it was kind of tall grass where she was at. Here was a little one, and of course didn't have all of its feathers or anything yet, just a little feather on its head, and I picked it up and held it in the palm of my hand and stroked it a few times. But yeah, it's pretty rare to be able to do that with wild turkey. And then of course I put it right back down where the hen had it, and I got away and the hen came right back into it. But yeah, it's enjoyable to watch the wildlife. We do have a lot of wildlife here on the mountain.
Mike, we talked earlier about backpack spraying, and my wife Rhonda and my two daughters has helped me a lot down through the years. Christine and Nicole, when they were growing up, young kids, they helped me a lot. They backpack sprayed with me and helped me here on the farm to do different things, and now they're all growing up and married and have children of their own. But whenever they can, they always get their families together and come in and help out, and we get together and do whatever we can.
Okay, I'm just going to point out a few things that we can see here from the farm. Of course, in the lower section of your screen, you can see parts of the farm. But then, if you look at the top of the screen, you can see what we call Green Knob, High Mountain, Haystack. Got three names for that area right there. But anyway, that's up there. You can see the tower. And then we're just going to swing right on around, and if you look at the high place right there on top of the mountain, that's up in there looking over in toward Long Run, getting close to the Dolly Sods area. But that's Thunderstruck Rock, and that actually is less than 10 feet of being as high in elevation as Spruce Knob. So it's up there. And then the big valley that you see running up through there, that's called Spruce Run. And then we'll swing right on around the mountain, and right there you can kind of see another little haystack-looking mountain right there. That's Buffalo Knob. Many years ago, it got its name because we did actually have buffalo here, and there was a mineral. There was an area up there where the buffalo would come to eat the dirt. It was actually a mineral in the dirt, and it was something they needed, just like cattle need salt, and the buffalo needed that mineral. So they would actually eat the dirt to get the mineral. But anyway, right on around, we're looking at Barner Mountain, where all those sods are. Open ground, that's Barner Mountain. And then when you look way up the gully right there to the top of that mountain, now you're looking into Dolly Sods. And the gully itself is Red Creek. So, big area up in there, very big. And then we'll swing right on around out of Red Creek, and we're going to swing down in here to where you can see some power lines running up through the timber. Well, that puts you right into Canaan Valley State Park, and so you can see how close we are to that. And then you have Timberline, which is right there, pretty much side by side, right there in that Canaan Valley area. You can, from up on top of the farm, which I'm not on top of the farm right now, but if I would go up higher, I can see some of the ski slopes. And you can look right through that cut right there and see some of the condos on Timberline, the other ski resort.
And then you got that hump right there, and just to the left of the other haystack looking hump right there that you was looking at, that looks into Mount Storm, where VEPCO has a power plant. You can actually see the stacks. They have beacon lights on them. Now the sod that you're looking at right over here is Route 72 going down in toward Hendricks. And that runs down in toward Hendricks and then right on down to Parsons. Now just on the other side of the big hump right there is Blackwater Falls and Blackwater Canyon. So as you can see, we're not very far from that. And then we're going to swing right on around. Of course, in the lower section of your screen is still the farm. Go right on down 72 toward Hendricks, down into Flanagan Hill. And then we're going to swing right on around there, and you may be able to see I can actually see them, the windmills on top of Backbone Mountain, going towards Oakland, Maryland. Then we're going to swing right on around, and we're going to look down into that Parsons area, down that deep gully right there. And that takes you right down into Parsons. And that's where those Air Force F-14s, they come up out of there. And I was talking about the air show that they give us here every so often. They fly up out of there and then fly right through here, right underneath us here, right in this direction right here, and come through, and you actually look down on the pilot. So it's pretty neat. Woo! Woo! Look, Blackie, look at me. Woo! Woo! These Angus steers will stay in here till the last of September, and then they go off the mountain. I got my own set of scales down here, state certified scales, and they go down off the mountain through the scales, and then they go right to a feed lot where they're full fed. These cattle weigh right close to 1,100 pounds by the last of September. Then they'll put them in a feed lot and finish them off, get them up around 1,700 pounds, and then you'll be eating them at the Texas Roadhouse. This is prime Angus beef right here. This is as good as it gets. Woo! I gather these cattle up like this. They're not all here. There's about 30 cattle that's not here in this bunch. But I gather them up like this so I can look through them and make sure that they're all healthy, that there's no health issues with any of them. If there is, you can swing right up there and you can see a little head catch up there where I get them in. And I get them in there and doctor them and get them healthy again. And you're good to go. But it's important to keep your cattle healthy. Now I'm not giving them this grain to put weight on them. I'm not feeding them this to put extra weight on them. I'm feeding this to them because they like it so well that they come to me and I have an opportunity to look through the herd and make sure there's no health issues. So that's the reason for this feed. This is $10 a week. One bag, 50-pound bag,
$10 a week is all it costs. And it's worth its weight in gold to be able to get your cattle to come to you, to be able to look through them, make sure they're all healthy, and it keeps them tamed down. Then when you try to work your cattle and do something with your cattle, you're able to work them. I work these cattle all by myself. I can take this sack of feed and get them to follow me all over the farm. So $10 a week, it's worth its weight in gold. These cattle are a little bit nervous because you guys are here. Normally I'm all by myself, but I can touch a lot of these cattle. I can scratch their head, and so I can, when I'm out here all by myself, I can do about anything I want to with them. Woo! When these cattle are all together, there'd be about 100 head of them. And like I say, this is your prime Angus beef that you pay big bucks for in the store, in the restaurants. And as you can see, they'd like to have more. Only do this once a week. I really need to check these cattle and look these cattle over once a week. I actually did do that yesterday, but because you guys are here today, I'm giving them an extra little treat. So this is just a little bit extra, but this is normally done once a week. And doing it once a week, and you can see how I can handle the cattle. It's not everybody does this. Not everybody wants to take the time to do this, and they'll chase them and run them around and not get them doctored and not check on them and make sure they're healthy, and that always ends up being a big problem for them when they don't take good care. It's important to take good care of your farm, to be a good steward of the land. And it's important to take good care of your livestock. If you can't take care of them the way they should be taken care of them, then you don't have any business with them. Like I say, there's about 30 head that's not here with this bunch. But they was taken care of yesterday.
We hope you've enjoyed this close look into beautiful West Virginia farm. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click the notification bell. And we hope you enjoyed this picturesque majesty that God has created.
We'll see you next time.
You made human beings rule over everything your hands created. You put everything under their control. They rule over all flocks and herds and over the wild animals. Psalm 8, verses 6 through 7.